Hello everyone, myself Deepika Burman. So today I am here to discuss a topic that is based on the chapter materials, metals and non-metals. So as we all know that we can see several material objects around us, that is whether it is a solid, liquid or gas, so we can classify them under the category of matter. Now when we observe carefully, these matters, that is solid, liquid and gas, are further divided into two major classes, that is the elements and compounds. So there are hundreds of elements exist in the surroundings over here. So when we see these elements carefully, we can see that these elements are again further subdivided into two major main classes, that is metals and non-metals. So I am here to discuss about these two topics only, that is metals and non-metals also. Now further we are going to study the physical properties of metals and non-metals, and we can see the differences between the two also. Okay, let's see. Now first we are going to study the physical properties of metals. Okay, so first we will see the physical properties. The first point is that is metals are very hard in nature. It is very hard in nature, but there are two exceptions also, that is sodium and potassium. These two, sodium and potassium, these two are very soft in nature. Except these two only, the other metals are very hard in nature. Now next, if you will see, the next point is that all metals are solid. All metals that we see will be solid. Okay, but there is also an exception in this one, that is mercury. Mercury is only metal that is liquid in nature. We can see this mercury in a thermometer that we measure the temperature of a human body. Okay, so mercury is the only metal that is liquid in nature. So other metals are solid. Okay, now next point will be ductile. All the metals are ductile in nature. So when we talk about ductility, so metals can be drawn into wires. For example, aluminium, copper, these can be drawn into wires that we can make a round shape also. Now next point is metals can be malleable. Metals will be malleable in nature, malleable. Okay, so when we talk about malleability, that means that all metals can be made into a sheet also. For example, we can say aluminium sheets can be made, that is aluminium is a metal. So metals are malleable in nature. Now next is all metals are sonorous. Sonorous means, when we talk about sonorous, that is sonorous means is the sound that we get from the metals. Whenever we hit some metals, we can get a small amount of sound from that metal. Okay, so that is sonorous. Now next we are going to study is that metals are lustrous in nature. Lustrous meaning is that it has certain amount of shine in that. Some metals are having shining in that. For example, we can say that is gold, silver, platinum. These are having shine that we wear as the ornament. Okay, next point is that having good conductor of heat and electricity. That is good conductor. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Both heat and electricity can easily pass through the metals. Okay, now next is that last point is that high melting point. Metals are having very high melting point. Okay, but there is also an exception in this one, in high melting point only, that is the gallium does not melt with the high melting point. Okay, it can melt even if you take in your hand also. Okay, so other metals are having high melting point except the gallium part. Now I hope the physical properties of metals are clear. Now we can move on to the physical properties of non-metals. Now let's see. Now talking about the physical properties of non-metals, so we can easily say the whatever we have talked about the discuss about the physical properties of metals, it will be just opposite of that. Okay, now if you see, the first point is hard. Metals was hard. I told you that metal is very hard in nature, but these non-metals are very soft in nature. Okay, now metals are solid, but non-metals are not solid in nature. Next is lustrous. They have the certain amount of shine. Metals have certain amount of shine, but non-metals do not have any amount of shine in that. and it is a good conductor of heat and electricity, but non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are ductile, they can be drawn into wires, but non-metals cannot be drawn into wires, or they cannot be made into a sheets also. That is, they are non-malleable also. And the high melting point, I talked about metals, but non-metals are having very low melting point. Okay, so these are the points I explained you. I have told you about non-metals. Now let us see the differences between the two at last. Now you can see the differences between the two on the screen. That is the properties. First is the appearance. Metals are lustrous, but non-metals are dull. Metals are very hard, and as I told you, non-metals are very soft. Metals can be beaten into thin sheets, but non-metals cannot be beaten into thin sheets. Metals can be drawn into wires, but non-metals cannot be drawn into wires. Metals are very good conductor of heat and electricity, but non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity. So over here I am discussing the differences between the two, that is metals and non-metals. I hope whatever I taught you till now, it will be clear to all of you. Whatever topic I have discussed today will be very clear to all of you. So I am closing this one. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Thank you.